now it's time to start the show with Bl'Artagnan, Raw Life, and some girl. This is the Lifestream.
This is the Lifestream. Welcome, one and all. Thank you guys for joining us for the 28th time running. Round of applause. Pat yourselves on the back. We wouldn't be here without you. It is the 28th Lifestream. I am Raw Life. I have just determined that mummies are zombies. And I was proven by a jury of my peers. So that's how my day's going. Bl'Artagnan, how are you doing out there?
I'm doing well. I can't believe that we're starting the show recapping the goofiness that happened in the pre-show here, but here we are. But feeling very good. I installed a car seat over the weekend and feel like super dadly as a result. I think that was one of the 7 key points that you take in the transition from regular person to full-on dad. And so I'm feeling pretty mighty right now. How are you doing, some girl?
I'm doing all right. A little disillusioned in democracy, but
that is my fault, I have to admit.
no, I'm good. I had a pretty busy weekend. A lot of work to do to work on some projects, but everything's going well, and I'm excited for tonight's show.
Yes.
It's going to be a good one.
I want to shout out Bard. If you guys heard that song, Dystopia Bard wrote us some riffs. Thank you so much, Bard. It opens with Aerith's theme, the live stream. Get it? It's Aerith's theme. And also, huge announcement for the stream and the channel. Our emotes are live for subscribers. El Cid, if you check out our bio on Twitch, just click on our description, or however you do it. El Cid is on there. He has graciously provided these emotes. We got this guy. This is Cecil drinking a beer. This is Steiner, Rude, Lillicet Arvanil. I don't know the difference. Yuffie, Queen, and Rim and Interceptor. So check out El Cid. What's up, Bart?
Oh, I'm just gonna say, and they're all making really good faces. I like to think they're kind of small on the Twitch layout, but they're some of my favorite emotes that I've seen. Just very expressive, very expressive is what I'll say. So shout out to El Cid, like you said.
Yeah, I love the Steiner guy. He looks so upset, like Steiner does. Well, we talked about zombies for way too long. We got to get into it. We had a pretty big week in the DFFOO community. Garnet came out the day before we streamed. I pitied her. Rest in peace. Crevasse came out the day before, I think, right? Was that the day before? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
then with Garnet.
Since then, we have gotten Abyss, a new Abyss stratum, and Alisa and Kais. Kais got a 90. By the way, I'm going to do some co-ops. So if you are my friend, then check your invites. What do you guys want to talk about? Abyss? Kais? C90s?
Well, yeah, no, I mean, first off, we got a couple of time travelers here. Alisa and Kais both showing up. I did not pull out. Well, I didn't pull Kais because I already had him, but I did not pull Alisa. Although they're looking pretty decent. I mean, pretty decent overall. You forgot to specifically recruit people again, didn't you?
I did the thing. It's so hard. Everyone makes fun of me and laughs. Why isn't there just a button that says invite all my friends? Just one button. Invite my friends.
I think that's what the auto button's supposed to be, but it isn't very clear.
But even if you click auto, which I always do,
okay,
and then I click the button that looks most nice to me, free recruit. I would like to click that button because I want to recruit.
Why not request? You don't want to recruit freely. You want to request people.
You don't think it's confusing? At what point are they asking too much of the player?
Just click it again.
Blind Eye, friend of the show, co-host, guest host, Blind Eye with his Garnet.
You guys are all waiting for it, and here it is. This is the stream in which we all talk about the DFFOO user interface and how the buttons could be better.
They could be better. Poto Cedar, shout out the TCC podcast and their lovable, sweet intern, Poto Cedar. But yeah, we got 2 time travelers. Garnet's BT cycle is bringing us all sorts of fun excitement. Alisa, let's talk about Alisa. She's got a lot of buttons. I mean, she might have the most buttons in the game, right? She's a big button.
Definitely on the short list for most buttons. I mean, a lot of them flip over, but she's definitely up there.
I started the co-op with Sid Reigns. God damn it.
Boosted only, please.
Did anybody pull Alisa? Want to talk about Alisa a little bit? Anybody?
I did pull. I'm not really sure why, honestly. I just,
I've been there.
I had a lot of tickets, and I was like, sure. I kind of regret it, honestly, but...
Why? Because she's so confusing?
No. Not really. I don't think she's really that confusing. Her whole gimmick, right? She has like the red and... She's got the white and black magic. She's red mage for Final Fantasy 14. And some of her skills give her more stacks of white mana, some give her more stacks of red mana. And when you get both of them to 5 stacks, you get to do the big enchanted redoublement. Problem is, most of the buttons don't really matter. I've found.
They don't matter. It doesn't matter if you play her perfectly. She's still... it doesn't reward you for the difficulty?
Yeah, that's kind of what I would say. It's sort of like... there's been a lot of, like, how to play Alisa flowcharts and stuff, which are funny. But, it is true that if you want to get optimal results out of Alisa, you do need to be careful and, really optimize your button presses. But the difference between optimal play with Alisa versus, like, kind of not really knowing what you're doing, just pressing the stack that's lower every single time and not really thinking, is not much.
Yeah, not similar, but there's kind of a related complaint that I didn't pull her, but I did some extensive research, by which I mean I talked to one person about it and kind of verified what I thought. From what I understand, the mana system that she uses it never seems to quite line up perfectly so that you feel like, okay, I've timed things in such a way that I'm using the right thing at the right time. It all just kind of happens haphazardly in a way that, well, I feel like Alisa had a particular kind of player fantasy she's trying to convey. I mean, Final Fantasy 14 Red Mage, of course, but there's a certain kind of precision kind of dancing sort of. Like, I'm almost pulled to like a Marth in Smash Bros. Kind of feel like you're trying to be very kind of precise and do just the right thing at just the right time to maximize your impact. The difference I'm seeing with Alisa is at the end of the day, all of her buttons are it's a single target attack, and I'm sure she has some self-sufficiency with the whole battery on crit thing. She has weakness, like they're selling points, but at the end of the day, all of her buttons just do some single target damage, and if you press the right button at the right time, it's a bit more single target damage, but not so much more where like you feel super rewarded for getting it right. Whereas like, to take the Marth example, if you don't use the tip of the sword, you notice it's a big drop off. So I feel like she really kind of suffers from trying to offer this player experience of like this very kind of precise balancing act that you're supposed to be performing, and in execution's like, okay, whatever,
Yeah, Blind. I don't have an opinion, so instead I'm going to just read what Blind Eye said, because I trust him implicitly. Blind Eye said she's okay. She's 3 months early. I didn't know she was that early. 3 months. Jesus.
Yeah, very early.
And not as confusing as people are letting on. The good thing about her is she has a personal buff called Dual Cast that allows her to essentially use her skills for free one turn, and EX freezes it, extends it, and then ticks down. Then LD extends it by +2. That's cool. That's if you're a big time Alisa fan or a big time Final Fantasy 14 fan, right? This is cool, right? She's early. You can use her in the hardest content, and she'll be fine.
She'll be very good. To be clear, she's a very powerful character.
But at the same time, does it matter? Does anybody like?
That's actually my issue with Alisa is I think she's functionally a very good unit, a very fine unit. You can use her to clear content, but at this point, content is so easily cleared with such a wide variety of characters that what are you getting by investing into her? By comparison, you compare her to, obviously compared to a BT plus unit isn't fair, but you can think to yourself, okay, well, she's, at the very least, she's like a budget character, LD only, but what does she bring as an LD only character besides some damage, which you can get from so many other places? And this, like I said, kind of botched fantasy of like, or a Bosch kind of archetype that isn't really actually rewarding you for quote unquote playing optimally.
I think in general, there's kind of a problem right now with LD only damage dealers, where there's not really any incentive at all to ever use them.
There's better options, and the better options have BTs and BT pluses. So
yes. Like, there is not a single LD only damage dealer in this game who is going to do anywhere close to what a green Machina can do, or
a green Garnet.
And that's gonna, or a green Garnet even.
I mean, at this point, this is going to be the problem. A lot of characters are going to keep coming out, and why do you need them? Garnet has essentially broken the game.
So
it's not just Garnet though. What I mean is, like, so we have BT characters, right? Who you bring Machina, you go into his burst phase, and the boss is just dead. Like, what LD only character can do that? Can take 7 consecutive turns where he does over 1 million damage every single time, while no buffs are ticking down, no orb is ticking down. Like, the insane power of that BT phase is just, why the hell would you bring anyone else other than like trying to challenge yourself, I guess? But Alisa is still so overtuned for the content that it's not a challenge either.
That actually kind of dovetails into the other character we can talk about, because of my general thesis on LD characters right now. LD only characters is they have to bring a unique and interesting gimmick. You look at Ketchi or Saz, they have that cool, they make each of your brave hits better in a special way kind of thing. You look at I don't know who's another LD character who's come out recently that well, anyway, what I was going to say is you look at Kais, and he has unique utility. He does interesting things that other characters can't replicate and make him worth bringing. Even if, yes, strictly speaking, if you just bring like Garnet or Machina or anything like that, you'll probably stomp the content regardless because BT pluses are just that powerful. But you can at least justify the bring Kais, or like Galif or Orin, cover tanks with LD only. They do something kind of uniquely interesting. Even Lena has Lena has debuff immunity. Vanille, anyway. But like, they each have some kind of unique gimmick. Even like someone like a Lilith has Brave Gain up in the kit, which kind of, if you're not running a Brave Gain BT, can be compelling. But all Alisa really has as her unique gimmicks are, she has that, she does a bunch of damage, whatever. We've seen that before. We've seen damage. That's nothing special. She has the 4 element thing, so she has kind of the Vaughn Universal Imperil kind of effect to a degree. And so she'll be hard to lock out, which is cool, I guess, except we're not really experiencing lockout content for a while, element-wise. And if they are elemental,
non-elemental character.
Well, that's the thing. If they are elemental, or the only lockouts we're going to be most likely seeing, at least recently we've seen, are straight up Imperil immune, so that negates her advantage there. And then she has the built-in Ketchi crit Brave Gain thing, which is neat. It gives her a niche. Like, I guess you could build Brave Game around her and kind of battery through things, but you could already kind of do that without needing her for it. So it's like we're saying, you can get through content with her, but what does she bring that other characters don't bring? Whereas you look at Kais, and he actually brings something interesting that makes him compelling. You look at Saz and Ketchi, you look at, I'm really struggling to remember any LD character we've had recently that doesn't have a burst attack.
Lilith.
Yeah. Lilith. Prompto has, he has his. He has evasion, I guess. Prompto's weird, but like the unique gimmicks that Alisa is bringing, it's just a couple. It's basically just variations on more numbers, but not so many numbers that unless you're trying to do a no BT run, you're not going to notice a difference because BT characters are already outperforming her. The one area I could really see her being handy in is for someone who really, for whatever reason, has their enjoyment from the game is doing no BT runs. If they're a challenge runner, if they're just for whatever reason you're not using BTs, maybe I could see, maybe you're just really strapped for resources right now and you don't want to chase a BT character. Honestly, no, actually, I take that back. If you're in the position where you are strapped for resources, you should just focus on going for one BT character that can save you from pulling for the next 3 months.
She's on the screen right now. Back. She's on the screen right now.
Doubly good point. That was,
Yeah, her name's Garnet.
Now contrast that to Kais, who I'm actually changing the subject now to him, if you'll indulge me. I think he's actually in a really good spot now. He also has time travel. I don't know if it's quite by the same amount.
So he was slated to come next month with Lil Set LD on a campaign.
Okay,
So he came during Theodore's cycle next month in JP.
Okay, so not quite as advanced a time jump, but still, it's nice to have him early. I think he's actually in a really good position to be a useful and compelling LD character for this era, because when you look at what the LD or the C90 Lithuania Plus era is asking for. It's asking for one thing. It's asking for as many HP or Brave dumps as possible. It's also asking you to raise your HP cap as much as possible. So with Kais, they finally fixed his biggest issue, which is his on-turn damage sucked. They gave him a better EX, better LD. That's all cool. They also, of course, buffed hero support so it lasts for 8 turns. And so now, what this means is he's bringing you the multiple dumps because he's giving you a bunch of launches, and every launch is 2 extra Brave dumps on whoever's doing it. So if you put hero support on a turn stealer, on a Lightning or a Vayne or even an Alisa, I guess, every time they attack, that's 2 more Brave dumps potentially, assuming you have some kind of decent battery going on. Then on top of that, he has HP damage up, for the HP cap up. I'm getting excited because of his blue armor. His blue armor, I want to say, is 20% HP max Brave up, or max Brave cap up, which is a lot. 20% on a single unit is a lot of hit point or HP cap up. So he's kind of bringing some really strong, compelling things that tie in nicely to what this era is asking of characters. It's asking for dumps, it's asking for HP cap up, and Kais is bringing both of those things. And he also has this, I personally just like this and think it's cute. Bringing him on the team means you don't need to put Rain's Call on your BT unit, because you can just hero support them before their burst phase and give them a different call, which is it's a nice luxury to have. So I'm pretty high on Kais. Granted, I didn't have to pull for him. I don't know if I would have if I didn't have him, but I think he's in a good spot.
It feels good. It feels good for those of us who already had him. This is true of every returning LD that gets a really nice rework, but it feels really good to have him already. And Cross13, shout out Historia Crux Tuesday nights. Cross in the chat said Kais is in a good spot till he gets Thanos by Selfie. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know when Selfie comes. Some girl, what were you saying?
Well, that's kind of the good thing about his time travel, right? Is that in JP he only had a cycle to shine before Selfie's incredibly broken C90 came out. Whereas now potentially we get a couple months of him being not a couple months, but about 2 months of him being the launch character, which is kind of what he's supposed to be.
I gotta cut in real quick. Did I just get a EX power token? Is that we get those every day here now?
Not every day. The dailies have been alternating between nuggets and blue armor books and EX power tokens.
4th anniversary.
That was actually something that Blind Eye actually mentioned to me that probably bears mentioning. Right now, there's some really sweet new player rewards, and I think they might be temporary. Choco boards. There's these login bonuses. Even the revamped start dash is, I guess, something. But it's a really good time to be a new player. And so, I don't know how many people listening or watching are in a position where they are thinking about playing and aren't actually, but it's a good time to be a new player, I think, in the game. Because you even have a super broken character you can pick up to just kind of carry you through content. I'm, of course, talking about Alisa, but here we are.
Yeah, I think now is the best time. I've played for since EX era or before the EX era, and you guys have played for a long time too, different lengths of time. But this is the best time to start for any point in history. I think. I don't think we've ever had a character on a banner who can just instantly go back and maybe RNA could do a bunch of stuff back in the day, but just Garnet can go back and just declare the entire game up to this point.
I don't know if I would agree that now is the best time to. Strictly from a resource point of view, now is certainly the best time to start. But for me, if I had started playing the game and the end game was this easy, I would have just quit the game.
Well, the end game is not going to be that easy for people who just started. Obviously, if they bring Garnet, which they will, but
yes, it will. It will be that easy.
But you could. I guess they're not going to challenge themselves. So no, you're right. So it's going to be a while. Garnet has completely changed the way that. First off, shout out Ozzy Riz Lionheart. I saw you follow a couple minutes ago. Thank you for joining us. but Garnet has kind of changed the way that I look at the game completely, and we're in a new era, y'all. It's a brave new world. She's on another level, and like talking about Alisa, talking about new players. Who are they going to pull? They're going to pull Garnet. Nothing's going to matter for a long time. If you have Garnet, if it's a favorite, obviously you're going to want to pull him. That's great, but I'm going to have a hard time looking at any kit and saying, well, other than the niche other things they bring, no one's going to bring better support than Garnet. No one's going to bring better damage than Garnet. Those are the two most important aspects, roles in this game. Correct me if I'm wrong. Support and damage. And she's going to do the most of both of those over the course of a fight, especially an AoE fight, than anybody coming out. So, if you're new, pull Garnet, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're a new player, certainly, if you get to the point where you find that a character trivializes content too much for you to enjoy using them, then don't use that character and find a combination that works for you that you do enjoy. It's not ideal to have to dumb down the game to make it more fun, but if that's what it takes, it's a totally viable option. You can. That's what I was saying earlier with the challenge runs. Like, if you find yourself saying, man, I just blow up every fight with Garnet BT and I'm just not enjoying the game, try switching it up. Try saying, okay, well, maybe I'm only going to use. From now on, I'm going to run, the only units or something like that, or I have this one unit I like. I'm gonna take Alisa and run her through the next few fights and just see if I enjoy the game more. Trying to make this character to puzzle this character through the fights. Like, there are ways to make your own fun. Not to the point where you're suffering and hating the game. Like, at the end of the day, if you don't like the game, stop playing the game. But I think there are ways to recover from the what I think is going to happen to a lot of people, myself included, where it's like, man, Garnet sure makes every fight brainless.
Yeah, and I don't want to segue too soon, but if you don't want to make your own fun, one thing the devs have done in the last week, obviously it's a global first PT cycle, so we're getting a lot of global first stuff, but we talked about Crevasse last week. There you go. You can only use Garnet in one. Abyss, you can only use Garnet in some of them. The devs have an opportunity right in front of them. I don't know if they'll take it. I don't know if they want to take it, if it's worth taking. But they have an opportunity to Rune X2X Studios rating. Thank you so much for the raid, Rune.
Howdy, Rune. Speaking of Garnet fans right there.
Yeah, we're talking about your girl, your lady. Crevasse, real quick, I want to touch on Crevasse because I had just started it last week when we ran it, and this was incredibly fun. And on the topic of making your own fun in the game, if they want to drop one of these every couple months, every month, whatever, I think that's an incredible way to artificially, or not even artificially, just genuinely ramp up the difficulty and the replayability of the game. Garnet can destroy everything. What's the answer to not letting players get bored by destroying everything with one character? Make events that you can only use her once.
Yeah, I think Lockout content's really smart for this game in general because at the end of the day, this game is about roster. It's about having a bunch of fun different characters do different things and building your roster and thinking to yourself like, oh man, I could use a new cleanse unit. I can use this. When I got back into the game back during Noctis BT cycle, I was trying to work my way through Abyss because I hadn't done it, and some of the fun I had was puzzling out why I pulled 8. I pulled 8 LD when his All Chapter came out. I pulled him because it's like, shit, I need a fist unit a fist unit in order to get through this Abyss. I need to round out my roster, and at the same time, I think the colors and the weapons are a little bit arbitrary at this point. They're kind of holdovers that they didn't really need to implement in the first place. Although, I guess it adds more decision points for ultimate weapon investment, but at this point, stuff like locking out things by code is a little bit arbitrary. That being said, I think the fundamental idea of, okay, you can only use a given character once during this event, you have to choose where it happens, that adds a whole new meta game on top of the actual gameplay of the battle, because you got the battle, you got the fight, the individual fight. On top of that, you get to add a secondary, it's almost like how to put it. It's like playing 3 simultaneous games of chess, like or something like that, where it creates this extra layer to the fight or to the game. In this case, of rostering, kind of sort of like resource management in a way, but in the way that you pick where the different characters go. And I think it's really smart, both as a way of keeping the game fresh, like you were saying, and just as like a fundamental kind of encouraging the business model of the game, which is, hey, pull for dudes.
Yeah, that it not only is more fun for us to have these global events that are lockout events, but as we move forward, through garbage time, I think it would behoove Squex to keep doing these because of what you just said. I never look at a character and say, "Oh, this character's coming out. I don't have any red whip users. I should. Maybe I'll throw some tickets." If this becomes a normal thing where every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, every 6 weeks, we get lockout content. Veterans with full rosters who throw tickets at everything anyway, it's not going to matter much. But that's a great way for Squex to say, hey, yeah, you have Garnet, she can do everything, but how many more green staff events is there going to be? You don't need green staffs anymore. You need this and you need other stuff. You need to branch out your party in another way. It's creating layers to the game, and a lot of people aren't going to like that. But I think that it's smart for Squex.
It's weird because, I think Equinox did it really well because, with Abyss, with the color and the crystal, like we said, it is, I think, training players to say, oh, I need an additional black spear user. I think that's where this unit is coming up. They're a yellow gun. They're only, there aren't many of those. This will cover a lot of. I think that's a weird direction to take it overall. Although they've already kind of, the die is cast in that sense, and so if it's here, it's here. But I do think there's really great value in terms of stuff like Equinox, where it's not specifically saying, oh, you have to use, you need an X, so many red crystal units on your roster, otherwise it's not good. But there is a way of saying like, oh, you really want to actually, you want to make sure you have a debuff cleanser. Oh, you want to make sure you have at least 2 healers, so that you can. And obviously, like you said, for a veteran with multiple tickets, 2 healers isn't a big ask. But for a new to intermediate player who maybe their roster isn't super fleshed out. Maybe they only have one recent support. It'll make them think, oh yeah, I should pick up another XYZ thing to kind of create some redundancy. I think that's really good. Some girl, Ron and I have been talking and shouting a lot. I'm really hopped up on kombucha right now. Let me tell you, this stuff is good. It's hitting me hard.
Kombucha.
But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I also thought the Crevasse event was very fun. I know all 3 of us went and did get the perfect score, which...
Oh, yeah, we didn't announce that. Announce that, some girl. Do some noises. Trumpets.
Sorry, I had to skip my trumpet lesson this week to play more DFFOO. But I definitely think that I'm very excited personally for the Equinox event that's coming up, because I think that is the most interesting type of lockout content that we've gotten, where instead of being tied to these sort of, as you said, arbitrary codes of like crystal color and weapon type, it's really tied more to the mechanics of the character and like having a roster that checks a wide variety of mechanics rather than having like specific, like, do you have a great sword that's blue and which is like
I will
nice
say
that if you have the characters, sure, but it definitely felt kind of like, I don't know. And I do think also this is kind of just only vaguely related to what you were saying, but you mentioned that weapon types has to do with ultimate weapons. Whips got fucked over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that
And,
really.
like, as a mechanic, it feels awful. Like if your favorite character is like Rydia, investing in an Ultima Whip would feel so bad. And that just seems kind of dumb to me. But that's not really related to the point. I was just thinking about that because you mentioned it.
They really, I think that when they first designed the game, they weren't thinking too heavily about the weapon types, and so they didn't think to themselves, they weren't, traditional Final Fantasy weapons or whatever. But like in practice, there are only so many characters that use certain weapon types, like like whip, like gun, like throw, I don't know, whatever. And I think they really should have rethought that and made fewer unique weapons and more, I don't know, some kind of better distribution would be nice, because otherwise, anytime they do lockout content, it feels kind of dumb or based on weapon types for that reason, because it's like they're never going to lock it out based on ultimate weapon, or not ultimate. I keep saying ultimate, unique weapon, and all the other weapons, unless it's sword or great sword, it's like, okay, this is oddly specific.
Yeah, Equinox. When is it coming? Is it coming tomorrow night?
Yes.
Yes.
And then Abyss. Equinox is also probably my favorite global first type of event, because just like some girl said, it's instead of arbitrary lockouts of stuff that doesn't actually affect mechanics and gameplay, it's a true roster check. I think it's our only true roster check. I guess we used to have Dimensions and Entropy, which needed 60 characters unless you do other solo and stuff, and that was a true roster check. But Equinox, of all fights that are relatively hard mechanically and really demanding of your roster, that's dope. It's actually a true roster check based on the mechanics and what your roster can do as it relates to the actual gameplay. That's the coolest shit we get.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to mention about Crevasse that I think was kind of a downside is the fights were all pretty basic mechanically. Like every single fight could be no-turned pretty easily.
I've heard people make that criticism, and I personally felt it was in this case a good thing, because it was the first time they'd done this, and I think having mechanically intensive fights, especially for the green staff, like they're only.
Well, of course. I just think that because that's what made Equinox and also this Abyss, which we're going to talk about later. Yeah. I think were more enjoyable for me personally, just because they had really interesting fights, not just like an interesting event premise.
I will say, I think I'll agree with you completely. The next time Crevasse rolls around, I'd like to see some more interesting fights.
Yeah.
Although at the same, I will say, I know we're talking about how arbitrary the blue gray sword requirement is, but as a vein greener, I was feeling pretty smart with how much value he brought to me there. I was seeing people out there like, man, I'm struggling to get my LD only vein through, and I'm like, man, I bet you sure wish you greened that vein, huh?
That's like that was me. I'm people. I
felt really big brain. I felt very much rewarded for my decision-making skills, is all I'm going to say there.
Yeah. The one time skill issue. The one time that it was a good decision. I think that if they make the next time it comes around, make them harder, but give a couple more options for
the codes. Yeah, I'd like that.
Give codes that are, instead of only like you have to do one of the Lufania Plus with blue swords, great swords. You have to do another one with green staff, and you have to do another one.
And there are only 3 characters.
Yeah, with yellow swords. Give us a little bit more mechanically difficult fights. First off, I fucking love Crevasse. It was amazing. We all got the perfect score because
we all loved
it.
Unmatched.
We're unmatched. We're unmatched in our
I mean, it is worth noting. I want to say, of the talk shows that I listen to, we have 100%. The most, if not tied for the most, hosts who have gotten perfect scores.
If you're 100%, the tiebreaker is how many hosts. And I know some other will not be named shows. They went 100%, but two hosts is less than 3. So
just saying.
I don't make the rules. But anyway, I love this event. But these are just constructive, not even criticisms, but ideas. How cool would it be if next time it's the same kind of setup, but the 3 hardest fights are a little bit harder? Maybe you can't no-turn them, but instead of having to use 3 exact weapons and colors, you get 5 or even 6, red, and you can mix and match them. So you have to use 3 reds, and you can do red sword, red great sword, red whatever. I love this though. This was phenomenal. It's a beta,
agreed,
obviously,
fantastic.
But I think we all agree we'd love to see this more.
Oh yeah, the reason we're talking so excitedly about it is because we really liked it, and we're like, oh wow, here's how this can be even better because it felt so good. We want it to be better.
Yeah.
As opposed to like you look back at like the Balthier Abyss or something like that, and you're like, well, that kind of sucked. Hopefully they don't do it like that again. Although I will say, as a Balthier puller, I once again felt very smart, very rewarded.
Join the club.
For the Balthier Abyss?
Balthier stocks up. Balthier Abyss needed
you needed Balthier. Like you needed a gun and a yellow. Like was it 3 yellow crystals, 2 yellow crystals?
It was really stupid. It was not good, and I think they've learned from that because, as we've been saying, I think with Crevasse they nailed it. They could have nailed it more, but they nailed it. And I think with Abyss, as we're going to talk about, they also did a very solid job. And I think we're all assuming we're all very optimistic about tomorrow's Equinox. I'm assuming, right?
Oh, I personally think this will be the best event of them all.
Yeah.
This is the one I've been the most excited for.
And shout out Excalibur. We completely forgot this because we're so excited because we love this event so much. There was one big problem, but it's so easily fixed. Now Excal said it. Now, if they only made it so there's a reset button and the codes will stay until you manually change them again, it'll be perfect. Yeah, that was a big problem. You couldn't change, you couldn't clear the codes, and when characters were locked in, you had to go to the easiest one and just run them with those characters real quick to unlock the whole thing. That sucked, but that's something they probably know they need to fix next time. What were you saying, Bart?
Oh no, I was just going to say, confirming what you said. The workaround for that is running up to 3 characters who are in the different fights you want to unlock. So you couldn't do 3 at once if you wanted. Through the Cosmos and just kind of clearing that without any codes will unlock them. But it's still obviously it's suboptimal. Having a reset button would be nice. It's a feature that they added to Entropy, and I think it was everyone was like, this is amazing. This is such a good quality of life. So that was good. Oh, hello, Indolent Lord.
I mean, like that kind of stuff. I'm like, it's a beta. I'm sure that the technical side of it will be fixed hopefully when it comes back, not if. I'm definitely like, if this happens again, I'm very looking forward to it.
Yeah. So we loved Crevasse. All good. After that, we got another global first event. Substrata 6 of Abyss. Abyss's glorious return. Everyone loves Abyss. We've already talked about how great completely arbitrary lockouts are. So how did you guys like Abyss? I had fun.
Oh yeah, okay. So I want to say, when they first announced this is definitely the one I was the least looking forward to, because y'all remember the last couple iterations of Abyss were not the most warmly received events. I mean, so Stratum 5 was like just really easy and kind of pointless. That was like the Jack bosses with the red sword, and it was really easy. And people did not like the Doulahan rerun. But this Abyss was really good. I thought this was fantastic. I think having the fights being like actual Lithania fights made it so much more enjoyable than having to just like sit through shitty chaos fights. You still have to do it in the substratum, but having lockout content with like fights that actually had mechanics and mattered felt so much better than the last couple iterations of Abyss that we've gotten. And we got to see some fights that I liked the first time came back, which I thought was cool.
Yo, hold on. Which fights? You like the steampunk octopus?
Oh my.
No.
Oh, good.
Okay, so, I'll say which fights I liked, because we got to refight the Lail Sharks. I have often listed that as one of my favorite late Lufania fights. I think that is a really well-designed fight with cool mechanics.
If you had Lail.
I did it without Lail when it launched. It was a very fun fight.
It sucked.
When it launched?
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
No, I think it was like what I really enjoyed about that fight is it had like demanding mechanics, and it tried to like it fought you in a very different way from any boss that I've ever seen before, right? Where you had to like set up launches, and it tried to counter your launches by like messing with a turn order, which was really cool. I thought it was like a really creative fight with cool mechanics, and I was glad to see that fight come back. I like the tier 1 wheel mask things. I think that's a cool fight.
The Hot Wheels.
Yeah, this iteration of it didn't feel nearly as threatening, obviously, because we're way overpowered for it.
Yeah, well, I think that hits upon what I really liked about this. They reran most of the most memorable bosses we fought. That in various iterations. I mean, the chaos fights were all basically jokes, but even still, like seeing the Count Steam or the Humbaba or the Sephiroth imps, I saw them. You see them and you're like, oh shoot, it's those guys. And again, you stop in the guard, but there's that momentary reaction of, oh my god, they brought these back. So I was talking with Blind Eye or before the Abyss dropped, and he was saying, we were talking about how, oh man, they just haven't rerun any of the Transcendence bosses ever, and I was saying, yeah, no, they probably want to keep them special. They're not going to. And Blind Eye was like, it'd be cool if they did. And here they go. They rerun nearly all of the Transcendence bosses in a way that feels very like, oh wow, this is important that they're back. Like this isn't just some throwaway raid. This is like, GL first anniversary Abyss. The Hot Wheels are back. The parrots are back. Well, those are back for the other fight, the Crevasse. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was also very cathartic to be able to like smash these guys.
Yes.
I love that.
So the Lufania fights got interesting orbs that you had to think about how to work around them. The fights, were still easy enough that you could blow past. Like if there was a fight, like for instance with the Hot Wheels, I saw that and that was one of the fights where I was like, oh no, not these guys again. And so I brought Reigns and Kais and someone else, and like blew through them, and it felt very good and cathartic. Whereas like other fights, I engaged more and like actually kind of, fought the fight on its terms. So like they gave us for me, it struck the right balance of like kind of this nostalgic, oh god, remember this rough stuff we went. I mean, the most memorable fights are memorable because they were traumatic in many cases. But so you kind of get that experience while also having the ability to kind of overcome it. And it was very cathartic, very therapeutic. I like to think we all grew as people and players. I like to think that we all kind of passed through this, and it was really just a tremendous rite of passage.
Yeah, I wanted to ask real quick if it's okay. This is a safe place. Did any of the what are they? They're not Chaoses. Were they Lufanias? Oh, they were all. Dude, there was a lot of Lufanias. That's right.
Yeah, there were.
So any of the Lufanias, because I have an answer and it wasn't even close. Did any of the Lufanias give you kind of like a hard time, and you're like, this is fucking annoying because of the codes or because of the mechanics? We had the Elemental Turtle and Kraken. We had the Sierran Bears. We had the sharks that some girl loves, and then we had the flame wolves.
I love that shark fight so much.
Did you guys have any issues or any tough runs?
Well, this isn't quite a tough run, but I forgot that that Count Steam counters melee attacks with a dispelling attack. And I also, the thing is, it happened, and I was like, well, that was annoying, and didn't think to read why it happened, so I brought a different melee character. Or no, I did read. I read it. I read it. It was like, okay, no melee characters. Built a team, went in, and then discovered maybe the fight. Oh, that guy's a melee. Oh, ooh. I don't even remember who it was. It was just I brought a melee character for the second time, so I actually had to do it 3 times because it kept tripping me up.
Wait, was that?
But it was really kind of. No, it was a chaos. It was.
Okay.
It's one of those really basic things where it's like, okay, I should have known that. That's on me. You got me, guys.
I wouldn't say any of them gave me trouble. I don't think I died in any of these fights, but the white priests definitely took time.
Oh god, they
It was
were
just a
higher
slow
than
fight.
they were higher than Lufania too, weren't they? They were 215.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I think
kind of,
that's an entirely separate discussion if we're getting onto those.
yeah,
Those
we'll get
jackasses.
there though. But I played that fight pretty much legit. I let them resummon the ads at all the thresholds and played the fight the intended way, and it took a while, but it wasn't really
Just
that
a
hard.
question for you, actually. Didn't you play the original version of the fight legit too? Didn't you?
I know I used Agrius.
It was Goose who did the. I think Goose did the legit version for the. Dang, I was going to ask if you can
I
compare
think the
the
legit version
experiences.
was a very, very difficult if you didn't have either Vayne, basically.
Dang.
Someone
Yeah,
who could
'cause-
re-rake enough to actually take that orb.
Yeah, I feel like the way it's weird, the way they structured the orbs for this, it felt very intentional, very okay, they clearly have a way they want you to do this. I thought when I realized, oh, you can plus the orb up by launching an ad, I was like, oh, aha, big aha moment, that's cool. But in
Or
practice,
you can also pick up the orb by giving it a turn and by taking brave damage reduced by buff.
No,
Yeah.
we don't give bosses turns around here. No.
I mean,
No,
yes,
I
uh,
do.
no, we
Do
don't
all the
engage.
time.
No, we don't engage mechanics.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
thank you. You keep your mechanics,
Well,
and we will complain about the fights because we don't actually see the mechanics. Thank you.
you're right that you can manage the orb that way, but I just
That's what I did.
it was just a side comment. It was a fun aha moment when I realized like, oh, you can also manage the orb through launching the ads during that phase. That's kind of cool. But in practice, it did feel very. I mean, that was another fight that tripped me up a little bit because I forgot I missed the part where he goes launch immune, and so I brought my the standard Machina team basically, and his burst phase was, as you can probably guess, with the Rains call, a lot less interesting than he normally is.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, it still died at the end of it, and I was like, I'm gonna re-record this with the way it's supposed to be done.
We're gonna run the final Lufania plus the mummies in a second, but the whole reason I brought that up was this fight right here. You guys know I'm pretty damn good at this game. Like real, I'm a high level
player in the world.
Right? Thank you. I don't want to say it, but it's true. I don't know how the basic mechanics of the game work, believe it or not. So these orbs here were fucking me up. I could not figure it out. So there's two. I want to touch on this because I know someone out there was also like, how do I do this?
So I was talking about it. But...
Yeah. So the earth damage and lightning damage, but he's resistant to earth and lightning. That's the
heavily
Kraken.
resistant. So even if you enchant and imperil it, you're still resisted.
Right. And so the other guy was heavily resistant to fire and wind, and that was his orb count. I could not fucking figure this out. I did the fight like 3 times, and I was like, my brain was breaking. I was like, how do I get the multiple and not do 0 brave damage? Bl'Art, actually, spoiler, kind of casually throwaway mentioned that he just threw Ash Call, and I'll be honest here, I'll admit it here for the first time. I have no fucking idea why it works, but Ash Call on
I can
Bart's.
explain this.
Thank you. Ash Call on Bart's. I just smashed it the very first time I tried.
Okay. So
I don't know
the way that this works is it has to do with the way that multiple elements enchant and imperil works. So if you're enchanted with any element that the enemy is weak to, you will hit for weakness regardless of all of your other elements.
Wait,
so
one more time. You'll hit for weakness.
If you have any element that the enemy is weak to, you will hit for weakness. Doesn't matter if all the other elements that you have are resisted, absorbed, whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as any of the elements is a weakness, you will do weakness damage. So if you brought, say, Garnet and enchanted imperiled water, then the fact that they resisted thunder would just be totally ignored.
Okay, that is so simple.
And so this is telling Alisa because she self-enchants with like 4 different elements. All 4 of these elements she enchants herself with. So she'll give +4 on the orb on any enemy that she attacks. I handled this fight by I brought Fujin, Kryl, and Zidane.
Nice.
So I enchanted both of the elements, like 1 element for each thing, and one of them resisted wind, but that one was weak to thunder, so it was okay. And then one of them resisted thunder, but that one was weak to wind, so that one was okay.
You know, I have to say, well, 2 things. One, and probably the more important thing, I kind of miss actually how they used to play with elemental resists and weaknesses and stuff. Like I know they went through long stretches where they would just make a certain element holy to screw over a specific character, and that was kind of just lame and lazy game design for me. But I missed the stuff like that. I thought that was actually very interesting. I also will say once again, Raw, I felt very smart because what I did was I double enchanted Vayne and just let my green Vayne go to town because he takes a zillion turns.
I'm so sick of Vayne.
If only you had also greened your Vayne, is all I'm saying.
God, I didn't even get his BT. I didn't even get his BT.
Sounds like a skill issue.
God bless.
Yeah, I got 4 Vayne BTs. I don't know what you're doing.
I don't mean to go back in time, but Vayne in the blue greatsword crevasse event with no BT was physical pain to me. I hate him so much now because of that. I know it's not his fault.
Honestly,
I didn't have his BT, but because of how horrible and long that fight ran without his BT, I will never forgive Vayne, and I'm
You know how I said that going through all these different traumas and fights here was a good character development?
Yeah.
I feel like I just caused Raw to regress by bringing up the crevasse situation.
And I love to flex because I'm modest, but also I'm the greatest player in the history of the game. So I want to shout out CSAM Defo. Question: did you 428 crevasse? Well, it's so restrictive and it's tough and it's asking for exact specifications. You've got to have a huge roster. You've got to be. It was just for me. It was. You're damn right. I did. Yes, 428. Perfect, son. Read them and weep. No problem. 428. 428.
We all
Yes, I did.
28.
Yes, I did.
Please don't ever change.
It's funny because we actually all did it in like different ways too. I think we put like completely different teams, different fights, different orbs.
Yeah.
It's because we bring you the complete Defo experience, the three of us. We're like
Yeah.
the three corners of the pyramid holding up the whatever. But
and we also do it, like you said, in different ways. Some girl is very analytical. She wants to use her favorites, but she's also incredibly talented, so she makes it all work and does it. Bl'Art, he likes to use his favorites, but he also likes to really analyze a fight and see how he can work his favorites into them. Then me, I just smash my fucking head against the fight over and over and over until I do it, and the end result is the same because I win. So, pick your poison, but either way you slice it, this is the three best hosts that anyone could have. Prove me wrong.
Do you think it's really funny that your descriptions for me and Bl'Art were just the same thing, but in like the opposite order?
I tried to articulate it in different words, but then I realized I don't know synonyms for the words I used, and so I just had to say the same thing front and back.
Well, the difference is some girl uses her favorites because she's very talented. I use my favorites because my favorites are really, really good. Speaking of, such as my favorite character in the game.
Bl'Artagnan.
What's that?
Yeah, Bl'Artagnan is a well-known Machina fan.
Oh,
Big
yes,
Machina.
outspoken Machina fan. Best protagonist or antagonist in the game, I don't know which. The game is very vague on that point, but best whichever of those he is in the game.
Big Machina guy.
Huge Machina guy right here.
I built myself up so much now. I'm feeling the power flow through me.
It's gonna be really funny when you wipe on this fight.
I think I'm ready to do this. We talked about all the other fights. Let's talk about this fight. They brought back the tier 4, 5. The tier 5 center. As I say, shaft. The tier 5 shaft bad guys are mummies. Mummies are also Soraya the Ranger with a gift sub to Excalibur. Soraya, thank you so much. We appreciate the support. These guys will just kill you if you make a slight mistake and go past a threshold when the ads have more than 50%. They don't take any HP. What's the word? Decrease.
Damage?
No, decrease.
Mitigation.
Mitigation. They don't care about that. They don't care about shields. They don't care about anything. They just kill you. It's just a kill. So this is a fun and interesting little fight. And obviously I brought Garnet and destroyed it. I think all of us did at least once. But how did you guys? Some girl. How did you attack the zombie lord?
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
No. How did you do it? I just want to know.
Called it a zombie. Mad.
Wait. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Damn. Damn it all. Well, now we have to explain it because this happened all in the pre-show.
This is the pre-show.
Jesus Christ, I'm so mad about this.
I'm vindicated. I am selfish. I am wrong. I am right. I swear I'm right. I swear I knew it all along. Spider-Man 2. It's just, I gotta use the bathroom. Tell them what just happened. I can't believe that's what it's called.
Thank God for pee breaks. Okay, so
mummies are zombies. Mummies
for
are
those
zombies.
Listening, please just go take a piss. Get out of here.
Fuck off. Get out of here.
Mummies are
Jesus
zombies.
Christ alive. So for God's sake, on the pre-show, we got into a completely necessary and highly analytical discussion, deeply personal in some ways, about whether zombies or about whether mummies are zombies, because Raw called these guys zombies, and one of us called them out on it and said no, they're mummies, and it became a whole thing. And we did a poll, an extremely analytical and democratic poll, really
Or people bought votes.
good sample size, in which I enabled the use of channel points to buy extra votes, so you can basically see American democracy in action. It was really beautiful to behold. The votes did go in favor of Raw, in favor of zombies and mummies being one and the same. And we decided, okay, we'll drop this. We'll probably not bring it up during the show. He, of course, mentioned as soon as the show opened, and I was like, we'll just coast through it, and it won't come up again. And lo and behold, we have opened the screen for those of you listening, and for whatever reason, instead of watching. And the Heretic Royal Mummy, boss of the Abyss Stratum, has typed Zombie Lord next to it, empirically proving that Raw has won the day as far as that particular debate goes. So we're going to have to hold the L here. In this case, regardless of over... No, it's not 2-0. It's the same discussion. 1-0. But nice try, you. But so we'll say, in the case of these specific mummies, maybe not like all mummies, but at least the mummies that we're dealing with here, they are most definitely zombies. I can't believe we had to waste...
They are a reskin of the Zombie Lord enemy that we saw in Act 3.
I cannot believe we just had to rehash this on the actual proper show for realsies.
I'm feeling powerful right now, and we're about to go into this fight. We're going to get to what you guys did.
My resignation letter from the stream as we speak.
But there's been a lot of controversy. A lot of controversy around. Is Raw Life the best in the world? Does he throw fights? Doesn't matter. He doesn't do research, so he's going in and everything live. It's been a hot button issue. I'm the man of the hour, and I'm ready tonight in this specific fight. Very difficult if you've not done it without Garnet. I'm just gonna go for it, and if I do, right, I am the best of all time. And if I don't, we're not even talking about that because I'm going to. And not related. Who specifically did you each bring? And how specifically did you do it? Go ahead, some girl. Very specifically.
So I brought my one of my newer BT pluses, which was Noel, because he ticks the orb on his EX, which is 6 stumps. Ooh. I brought the Lisette because she is my favorite character, and she also ticks the orb on EX. And then I needed a green staff user, so I brought Strago.
You brought Strago to this? Wait, Strago. Yeah. Lisette, how did you survive the when the mum, even if you get past the threshold and he throws his guys at you, they don't do much damage. Sometimes he'll do a little. He'll come up and he'll get active himself. He'll do some. Yeah, I used Cater's Call to freeze his brave, so he didn't do any damage. Okay. Bl'Art, how did you handle that?
I did a couple things with. They do in fact die to Machina, as most things in this game do. I used, I think, Kane and Garnet, and just kind of, I felt real proud of myself. Lined up a perfect, Machina 20 million damage burst phase, and I was like, this is awesome, this is great. And then Mark and TCC posted like a 22 million. It was insane stuff. So I continue to be impressed with what that guy can pump out. Shout outs to Mark of the Crystal Chronicles podcast, by the way. That's your DFFOO podcast on Thursdays on Twitch and YouTube. And then after that, I wanted to see if I could get through it without using Machina or Garnet. And there's a fun little trick if this fight is giving you trouble. Because I actually was running into a lot of problems with this fight in the non-Garnet version of it. Because it's a pretty specific orb needing 5 Brave Dumps. And as you said, there's a lot of HP damage flying at you. And they're pretty tanky. So you need to have a good team that has the green and the staff. And I don't have Vanille or Porum, so I was actually kind of hurting for decent staff users for the most part, especially trying to hit the orb as well. It turns out, though, there's a fun trick you can do where if you pull in a call unit when the orb is at 1, they'll kill your team, including the call unit, and then whoever the caller was hops back in. And if that person is capable of reviving, such as Y'shtola, I guess you could use Aerith or maybe Rosa if you wanted to, but why? You bring in Y'shtola, use her EX, and boom, team is back. Carry on. The orb does not come back, and the KOs aren't counted against you because it's Abyss. They don't care about KOs, and thanks to the revive score fixes they did a while back, it doesn't impact you. So I did a second run featuring Y'shtola, Lena, and Ace, and it turns out, for those of you who watch my YouTube channel, the last time I fought these guys during Tier 5, Ace died like 3 times. It was an absolute clusterfuck. I don't know why they just were determined to make Ace die on a team with Beatrix and Y'shtola. It was really surprising how much they hated him. And this time around, he died, I think, twice. They just continued. For some reason, every time I fight these guys and Ace is on the team, they murder him. They hate him. I eventually got through it by using. I actually farmed up HP artifacts for him, and that's how I got through it.
God bless Bl'Art. Before I get started, I'll tell you what I did. I used Garnet and 2 others. I forget who they were, but this is another conversation we'll probably have when Eco comes out. So next week. But everyone died but Garnet at the end, and I finished them off with Garnet, and it was perfect. I perfected it. Got all the rewards. I don't think that's okay. I'm gonna create controversy here. I think that's bullshit. This game is too easy already in some ways. The fact that and I'm the one who did it, so I'm allowed to say this. That's bullshit. I know it's Abyss, so it's different. But if everyone dies but one character and you win the fight, it shouldn't give you. That shouldn't give you all the rewards. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. And that's going to come into play very big time when the big revival Queen Eco comes out next week, right? Or this week?
Tomorrow.
Jesus. All right, so I am a little nervous. I can't use Garnet, right? But there's no other restrictions. Can we all agree to that? No restrictions.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I think Garnet's the only thing that I would say you can't use here.
Okay. Interesting. Funny you should say that.
I'll give you a side. Do you have a green Machina? I'll give you a side eye if you use Machina, but I'm not explicitly going to say you can't.
Yeah, I have green Machina. I don't like him here because I did use him. He was one of the guys who died. I don't like him here because even when you aim at one guy, he does so much damage. A person like me who's not great at math can, fuck up a threshold or not bring one of the guys below 50. Basically, the whole fight revolves around bringing the ads below 50 before each threshold. If they're over 50, I have a question. If anybody knows this, it's going to be important here. If they're at 50, if both the ads are at 50% exactly at a threshold, will
They'd be at 49.
Okay, so 50 will kill you.
Need to be at 49.
So 50 will?
Yes.
Okay, need to be at
49.
49. Okay. All right. See, this is the difference. This episode, I'm actually taking this advice. I'm learning this advice. I'm combining it into my own spiritual pressure, and I'm confident. I think that this is when I finally shut all the haters up.
All right.
No.
I think you should bring Bell.
Oh fuck.
Okay, I'm gonna put the poll up for 5 minutes. I've worded it kind of weird, but the general gist is: will Raw Life beat the fight? Do we care about like? Do we care about perfects this time? Because the fight doesn't actually care about perfects. Do we care about how many people are dead at the end of it? All you have to do is meet score, right? That's the only thing we're gonna ask for in this case.
That's what
I'm cool with it.
Yes.
Okay,
if
cool. Let's meet score. So.
Okay.
We're all understanding that, and for the viewers at home, I'm putting it for 5 minutes so you have enough time. Whether you vote before or after he's picked his team, that's out of my hands. Here we go.
Yeah, and also keep in mind, you might as well vote now because the last time I picked my team and everyone shat on it, a dodge tank and a lock tank and a dodge tank, and everyone was all up in chat. Oh, that won't work. You don't know what you're doing. Your brain is small, and you smell like elderberries. Guess what? Smashed it. Wasn't even close. It really wasn't close. So, vote before or after I pick the team. I'm not convinced it's gonna matter either way. I'll go ahead and tell you one thing I'm gonna do. Oh shit! I have to bring a. Oh shit!
Answering a question I saw in chat, it is the Lufania Plus fight of Abyss Stratum 6. That's the mummies.
I just realized something. I have to bring a green and a staff, or you can't enter the fight.
Correct.
This is correct.
Okay, that is all right. Okay. That's fine. I've got a powerful roster here. Fearfully and wonderfully built roster. My greens. I would like to bring a Burst Plus because no one specified you couldn't do that. Boom. That's part of skill. That's part of skill is treachery and deception. Can't use Garnet. Cod sucks. She is green though. Ace is not green. But I have his Burst. Terra, no thank you. And Ultimecia. So how about an off-turn team? How about a little of that? Will they be able to survive when the main guy goes and does his little... So you guys are going to help. You guys are going to help. You guys are going to help. You're gonna just... Okay.
Well, maybe
I
if
had nothing to say.
Maybe if you had another tank, I don't know.
Oh, we go all tanks?
Like Porum's tanks, so it's fine.
Are we going all tanks? Oops, all tanks. I can do that. I can do KO Fighters is now following. Thank you, KO Fighters. We appreciate the support. We're here every Monday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for 28 weeks in a row. Do you have any idea the mental toll that takes on a person? Anyway, I think that I'm gonna wait till the. How long is the thing? Bart?
There's 2 minutes left.
Okay, yeah. I'll start it as soon as it's over. As soon as the poll's over. So, because we're already at 9:48, and it should take me 15 minutes to just absolutely blow this thing up. No problems at all. My only worry is the green crystal. I don't necessarily want to use any of these people, except for Garnet, which I can't use. Sid Reigns. Oh, the orb. You have to hit 5 HP. 5 dumps. Is that the orb? You guys really are just gonna make me do it myself? Some girl?
I mean, it's right there, ain't it? You could read with your eyes.
Okay.
I'm not telling you anything.
So that's 28 weeks into this thing. 28 weeks into this experience together, and you guys are going to be hanging right now.
And this is
20 weeks in, Ra's going to read the in-game info for the first time ever.
I'm going to make a deal with you, Ra.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you what the orb is, but I am going to tell you still have Auto Plus checked. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because I don't want people telling me in the chat, "Oh my God, I can't believe you let him restart the fight after Auto Plusing it. I should have my points for that." So we're clearing that up right now before people start accusing me of tampering.
So now we're very fair and diplomatic in our votes.
Yeah, no. Now if you lose now, it's on you. I've done my part.
Okay, fuck it. I don't need help. I'll do it myself.
I believe in
cancel. Cannot cancel. What?
Oh no, CSAM.
I don't know. I don't see one. Oh yeah, look at my work bag. Okay. All right. See, I was just distracted, so now I'm not in my zone anymore. The poll's closing, so I just got to go, right?
I mean, if you want to change your team, by all means.
Porum will. Can this team hit the orb? Only on Rain's turns. HP dumps. Oh, I'm nervous.
I'm sorry, guys. I thought 5 minutes was enough time.
No, I said I'd do it.
All's closed.
Boom, we're live. So what was the final answer?
Let me pull it up. One moment. Just a sec. Okay, so we have 44%. That's 12.1k votes. 9 people who believe you'll clear the fight. They don't think that Mummy vs. Zombie is the only time you're going to be winning tonight. They think this will be a second instance. 56%, that is to say 55.3 thousand points, also 9 votes, says lightning don't strike twice. So actually the same number of people believe in you as believe against you. Just the people who don't believe in you don't believe in you more, if that makes sense. They're willing to put more on the line against it.
Yeah, the haters are clearly sick. And
my theory there is that historically the haters have won more points and have more to spend.
Whatever.
You're not wrong. I mean,
see some.
don't look at who had the most points put on voting against you.
Say what? Say what now?
I said don't look at who had the most points voting against you.
No, she didn't. No, Bl'Art. I swear to God, Bl'Art. Did she really? 2 weeks in a row. Wow.
What do you know? Huh. That is fascinating.
We're a team.
I got
some
very
perfect.
interesting information.
To be
I
fair,
just
okay.
pulled
To be
up
fair,
in the
I
back.
got perfect on
to be-
Crevasse. I got 428, man.
To be fair, when I made that vote, you didn't have a single character on your team who could take the orb at all.
Well, now I have one.
So it seemed like a pretty good bet.
Oh God, I'm so nervous. I've built this up just a tad too much. I didn't bring a BT. Oh my God, I didn't bring a BT or BT plus.
Just to do a challenge run like we were talking about. No BT run.
Where we're going, we don't need BTs.
That's the spirit.
How do you sit Reigns without without Aphmo?
Are you? Who even are?
All right. Okay. Sid Reigns. He's got 3. Is that all his own buffs? I too will challenge my fate.
All right, I'll tell you this.
Cavalry Commander.
Reigns will take the orb if anyone else joins his launch.
Everybody
because
joins
he'll
his
have
launch.
at least 1 dump on the ground. He gets 3 dumps in the air, so he needs 1 other dump from somebody else. And if you're pressing one of his skills to have more than 1 dump, he always takes the orb.
Okay. All right, so we're fine. I think that I've used Sid Reigns a couple times. He's fairly easy. Just make sure his buffs don't fall off, right? I mean, what is I2 will challenge my fate from? Is that from his
LD. That's the LD buff.
LD? Okay.
Yep. Cavalry Commanders from skill 1.
So Cavalry Rush, which says Cavalry in it, doesn't give the Cavalry
That
Rush.
That is correct.
At what point are we asking too much of the players? I mean,
that is really.
Come on,
That
dude.
is the crux of it. Here.
I see Cavalry Commander falling off, and I click Ruiniga Storm. Come on. The orb is healthy. We're gonna pump it up. What's the highest it goes? 15.
15.
Okay, we're gonna get it to 15 real quick, so I stop being nervous. This will ticket.
Yeah.
Yes, beautiful.
There we go.
So it goes up 5, and it loses 1 because I acted. So it's +4 every time. Count target +5, limit 15. Cannot cancel. That's a pain in my ass. Okay. I'm feeling fairly
It feels like the right time for a folksy southernism, you know?
Drill a hole in my mailbox so my bills get wet. This is the team.
There we go. That's the ticket.
I think I can do this.
All right. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm more.
I don't know.
You don't think this team can do it? Or you don't think I
don't
can
know.
do it with this team? That's
I think this team can do it.
Yeah. It's whether I can do it with this team. Also, real talk, everybody. I do this live, man. I do this for you guys. Okay? I do this because I'm the greatest player in the world. I don't have to practice over and over and over to do it. I just do this. Okay? So.
And you can tell he doesn't practice over and over and over.
Yeah,
Bart-
it's very evident.
Bart, whose team? Both of you guys tonight have really let me down.
We need to do something to mitigate we have to make sure this is to help you with your ego so that you don't get too big ahead over the zombies versus mummies thing, because that's the sort of pride leads to the fall sort of situation we could be dealing with here. That was a big win for you, my man.
It was very big, and the game even vindicated me. Wait, you can't see the missions from here?
There are no missions.
Wait,
Yeah, that's why
I can take as many turns as I need to beat this fight.
As long as you make score.
There's a score. Okay.
That's why you're able to still get the perfect with the deaths, because the only requirement is score.
All right. I think if I keep these orbs, if I keep the orb in check, and obviously don't let the the threshold come without getting the other two guys below 50. This is fairly chunky damage.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage.
79, 49, 29. Please don't lie. Those are the thresholds. Chat.
I guess that's correct.
Are you lying because you voted against me?
No, I would not do that.
Okay. All right.
I believe in winning fair and square.
As someone with no actual points routing on this, I can also verify 79, 59, or 49, 29, the usual thresholds.
Rob, why would I want to win if it was a tainted victory by treachery?
As someone who wins tainted victories by treachery literally every day, they are just as sweet. They are just as sweet, if not sweeter. You got to try this. But I understand what you're saying. Thank you for your honesty. I might already need to start focusing on these low guys. 87. Oh, fuck. I need to start on them now. That's only 8% to the first threshold. Please don't let me die at the first threshold. Oh, my God.
Oh, sorry. I see. Miss Byrne pointing out something I had overlooked. Chug a Beer was redeemed earlier.
Right now? In this, my darkest hour?
No, it was actually redeemed a few minutes ago before your darkest hour began. So that was on us.
Who did it? I thought that we turned that off.
I'm as surprised as you, honestly.
Okay, let's make sure someone turns that off. Who did that? I'll do it after this turn.
It was Miss Byrne. Miss Bourne.
Miss Bourne. Thank you, Miss Bourne. You must want to see me lose, but you're not gonna get the chance.
I actually voted for you to win.
Oh. This beer chug is for you, Miss Bourne. Alright, so from what I'm seeing at this point, my HP mitigation, my tankiness is enough. They're not going to be able to hurt me unless I fuck up a threshold.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Pretty much. I'd say.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I think the orb is your biggest worry.
Well, the orb and killing the ads are your two.
Yeah. The orb is the biggest worry, followed by the ads.
And to be clear, if you kill the ads, they come back immediately at 100%, right?
Yep.
So,
they come back at the next threshold.
Yeah, they're just at the threshold.
Oh, wait, they come back at the next threshold and then insta kill you?
No. So the way it works is
You can kill the ads.
Yeah, once you kill the ads, they stay dead until the next threshold, and they don't do the threshold attack if they're dead. After the threshold, he brings them back, and they're back again. So all you need to do to survive them is to get them below 50 and not the death door already.
Okay.
Also, to further elaborate, Mistborn actually is one of your biggest supporters right now as far as the predictions go. Not number one, but very close.
All right, fuck it. This one's for you, Mistborn. As you can see,
Don't disappoint.
full beer. Ooh, the orb's at 5. Can't do it. I can't do it. It's too cold. I can't do it. Sorry about that, Miss Bourne. Thank you for believing in me. Hold on a second. Oh, fuck. Before I finish this. Porum puts the orb to 4. He moves, puts the orb to 3, and then Sid reigns. Okay.
I'll just watching on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, no, it's compelling stuff as he drinks that beer.
Thank you, Miss Bourne.
So I gotta say, as someone who really likes Bart, this is completely off topic, just so that we could keep kind of filling the air. As someone who really likes Bart, I'm a little bit sad that he's now almost completely invalidated by the existence of Garnet.
Oh, yeah, fair.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He had a great run on top, one of the best characters in the game from his BT. I mean, regular BT onward. And he still has niches, weakness damage versus Imperial immunity. He has that, and he has some great gravity. So he's still, he's contributing still. But man, he got his C90 already, didn't he?
He just got it.
And I looked and I was like, this isn't what he needed to be able to compete with Garnet.
We're fucked. The orb is at 2. I can't ticket with Sid Reigns because I'm 90% sure he goes to 79. I can't attack A or C. Oh, wait. No, I can't because he'll be at 1 on RN's turn. We lost before the first turn. Or before the first threshold.
It's in a difficult position, my fellow.
HP attack is an instant turn rate. Oh, I just remembered that off the top of my head. Yes, thank you. I am right. HP attack is an instant turn rate. Well, that's still not going to be good enough. That's still not enough. Because the orb will go to 1. I don't want to use my summon on the first. I don't want. I know I have a summon. I don't want to use my summon on the first threshold.
I mean, the alternative is to die. So like,
I guess only so many different ways you can play this out. Maybe if you had brought Shadow instead of Porum, you would fall with Orin.
Okay, let's get this over with. That's it. That's enough out of you.
So furthering now, while you're experiencing this this situation here. Oh goodness! This will be interesting.
Got myself in a pickle here. 51, 53, 83. I have to summon. I'm popping my summon on the first. There's no way to get them to. Fuck. All right, we just have to keep the orb higher. We just have to keep the orb higher. The next 2.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
That'd be fine.
On the bright side, I think. He's the threshold thing doesn't trigger during the summon, so that's some fun room you could play with.
Oh, I could push him to the next threshold. No, I couldn't.
Great.
50. So we wiping or not? Yeah, I think we're wiping. And that's fine.
I believe the LD actually does not have any splash at all.
Does it? No, the LD is a group attack, I thought.
It's a group brave attack. I think it's single target HP.
Am
I wrong on that?
I actually don't know the answer. I assumed it was.
I don't think it splashes.
I'm looking this up right now because we can't be putting out misinformation, and one of the two of us is right now.
For the record, I just hit him, and it checked the orb and didn't take him to 79%, and that was in summon. So for the record, I could have checked the orb without taking him 79, without popping my summon. So it's not a good start, but we go again.
That's the spirit. Well, we live and learn, and in this case, don't really get to do anything about it because the votes were recast.
My brave hits are looking kind of suspect. I don't know the difference between Vanille and Lillicet. Which one is the good call? Some girl?
Both. They're both good calls for different things.
Which one's the broken one?
I see it. You're right. It is the LD is a single target HP dump or brave dump. It one target, no splash.
Okay. His overhead's at 1, and his what does overhead come from?
So overhead's from his EX. Overhead's from his EX.
So EX and then Cavalry Commander, which is not
Skill
Cavalry
one.
Rush. It's the one that doesn't say Cavalry.
Ring the Storm. It's the shitty skill that you only press to keep the buff up. The EX is AoE. It's split AoE, I believe, but the LD is target HP.
It makes me sad because his skill 2 animation is kind of lame, and his skill 1 animation is really cool, but it's such a bad skill.
Yeah.
Feels pretty bad.
Speaking of feeling bad, so here's a question: did Garnet end up disrupting your plans to Green Furion?
Who?
I know, right? That's exactly what I was thinking.
Hold up.
Interrupted mine. I was gonna Green Furion, And now, not only do I only have enough green mats to do one of them, I just don't want to green Furion now. So
I feel like he has a. Furion fans seem very passionate, and so I feel like there's the ones who are going to are still going to, but I feel like a lot of his thunder definitely got stolen. Not as much as Bart's, but like he definitely had some thunder stolen by this whole Garnet thing.
To be fair, Bart's has had his moment in the sun.
Oh yeah. Oh no, not. Don't get me wrong. It's funny. It is about time. It's just kind of funny to me because the creep is so direct. Whereas with Furion, I feel like there's cases you could maybe make. Like he's a more, I don't know, he's a more consistent healer maybe, or like, I don't know, off-turn healing. Like there's weird cases where it's like Bart's, it feels like such a one-dimensional, like one-to-one, like, wow, you really don't need to use, unless it's Impairment, you don't need to use this guy.
okay, first threshold, first sacrificials. Okay, so we lived the first sacrificial thing. We lived the first ancient stomp.
It'll be fascinating to see how the next few play out, though.
I think that's confirmed. I think the only way we die is to the orb. With this specific team. You have
Porin and Orin on the team. How are you going to die to an attack?
Like a HP.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Yeah. I just had a holy shit. There's attacks that can do it. Someone else talk. I just had a mini stroke.
Oh goodness. Everyone pray for Raw. He's going through a very difficult time right now.
Yeah, I'm very nervous.
You're gonna do great. You're gonna do great, kid.
So 68%. So now we're automatically back into a situation where we have. Oh, that's actually a lot. We have 19% before we have to worry about an orb again. I mean, before we have to worry about a threshold attack. Okay.
That's true.
Okay. What's coming up? We'll be back on Monday, but between now and Monday, do we have two like huge events? Don't we?
Just Transcendence 7 comes Sunday night.
No, tomorrow. We have.
Oh yeah, tomorrow, right?
Yeah, Equinox,
tomorrow.
and then.
Yeah. Right, I kind of was already. We already talked about that. I was like, oh yeah, it already happened. It's like, wait a minute.
So we've got two big events. Global First BT cycles are fucking sick.
I like how you use that plural as if there will ever be another one.
Next year, Amaranth. Global First.
I don't know if I can. Oh boy, Amaranth.
We don't.
I mean, I gotta say, like, I felt like every time we say they'll never do blank, they do it. Because I know with the they'll never release another GL first character, that was a misunderstanding. They got us with that one. With this, like, many people, myself included, I'll admit it, was like, they're never going to do a global first BT cycle. That would mess things up too much. They're not going to do that. And lo and behold, they did it right under our noses. So I think I'm done saying Squex will never do blank.
I never said they'll never do it, but
only
I'm speaking for myself there.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes, so I would never say never anything. But this global first BT cycle, I know that it's a one-off thing, and so I shouldn't put too much stock in it. But I am, because I don't care and I'm excited. They could absolutely fix garbage time by just throwing us a crevasse every. I would rather have it more often. I understand people wouldn't. So instead of every month like I would want, like every 2 months, they throw us a crevasse. I think that's too far apart. But they have the power in their hands to pretty easily completely fix garbage time. A crevasse every month, every 2 months, it's just not even reskins. It's just reused bosses, just orbs, and they could really do us a solid here, and I'm hopeful. I'm ready to get hurt again. I think that they're going to do something for us.
Speaking of garbage time, that's kind of another thing I wanted to talk about. Is how bad are all these like garbage time fights going to feel after we got all these really good fights?
Oh, I haven't thought about that. It's going to be so bad.
Like, we just had, right before the cycle, we had Queen's Lost Chapter, like one of the shittiest fights we've ever gotten. And we're about to go get more of those.
Do you remember earlier tonight when I was talking about all the character development we went through, passing through the trauma of Abyss and all these fights we dealt with?
Yeah.
You definitely just sent us all back. It's all gone. It's all undone. We're all feeling it again. This time now instead of looking back to the past, we're looking forward to the future with dread.
Let's say we got this like really nice cycle of like reprieve from really easy, boring fights.
Until the next event, the next global first event, which will be soon. I believe in them. That will save us. We'll be able to deal with all the shitty garbage time fights a lot better when we realize that crevasse is not a one-time thing. That's just my opinion.
I'll believe it when I see it.
We gotta live in hope. Otherwise, they're nothing but despair. So we're gonna have to believe it, because otherwise, what else? What the choice do we have? Living our lives.
That's right. That's right, Bart. Good on you. Live optimistically and be prepared to be let down instead of just thinking that it's garbage time is going to suck. I'm optimistic. I think that they know that we are not going to be happy with this much garbage time.
Man, I am looking at the orb with some interest, I have to say, by the way.
It doesn't tick on A or C's turns, so it'll go to
I know.
4. It'll go to 4, and then Porum, it'll go to 3. Shit.
Oh,
I think Orange just saved you there. Nice.
He wasn't dead, but I think it's sort of I think there's a fundamental like tension with this team that makes it very hard to run.
Yeah.
And it's an issue that I actually had too, so I was kind of like holding off from saying too much about it.
Well, I know what expound upon that. The issue of
the fact that you need to do like 5 dumps on the main boss to tick the orb, but you don't want to kill the main boss too fast because you have to damage the ads too. Because like I said, I ran Null here.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
His big damage button is a single target, 6 dumps on his EX. So you'll obviously need to point that at the boss to tick the orb, but that makes it really dicey to do enough damage to the ads to actually
I have
damage them down enough.
I have just used a Porum skill instead of her HP plus. I don't know why. I just felt like I should, and it high turn rated her directly. Oh, we're fine, I think. Why did I use a skill? Her skills are horrible, and she didn't need a buff refreshed.
Yeah, this is why for my second run of this, I decided I'm just going to let the orb kill me, go, and then move past it. As I said, this Abyss for me has been about overcoming trauma. In this case, the trauma of being killed by an orb, and then we move on to the next. Moving forward in life, living in optimism. That is the Lifestream way. That is the philosophy we're trying to help you incorporate into your life for your betterment.
So I have to LD here because it's the only way to hit the orb other than
EX will hit the orb.
Rush. EX will not hit the orb, will it?
Yeah, well, because it delays them by 1 turn.
But it won't bring.
And it's like 3 dumps on the ground anyways, so plus the 3 dumps in the air, it'll take the orb easy.
I only have 2 dumps in the orb because of Porum won't be. Oh.
No, Reigns himself has 3 dumps in the air.
Right, okay. Whew.
Yeah.
Whew, I'm a little nervous.
Takes it for free.
It is kind of cool having fights in which Reigns is good and usable without being overbearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You
used him where?
On the Ghosts fight. Because it was a launch orb, so I used him there. And it was pretty fun.
This is that's literally what I was about to mention. I haven't used Reigns much. Obviously, I Aphmal Reigns Maud his own event. But being able to use him in a situation where he's not just utterly broken.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, he still is doing ridiculous chunks of damage whenever he can, but because of the nature of the mechanic, it requires me to not do his crazy damage over and over on the main boss. So this is very fun, actually. It
feels really rewarding because he has such a dynamic and versatile kit, and his buttons, like the turn manipulation is neat. The animations are cool. Like, I love Reigns. It's just because he's so powerful, I don't use him much. So it is cool to be able to be like, oh, Reigns, yeah, neat, awesome. And I mean, come on, those aerial jump kicks are just too cool.
Yeah, he has really cool animations. I have horrible news, and everyone's been roasting me about it in chat already, and so I really don't want to bring it up, but I can't. It's something that I can't avoid. I have to pee so bad.
Oh boy.
And you guys made me chug a beer, so it's really y'all's fault. But
Mistborn, you supported him too hard, and this is what we're harvesting as a result.
Well, it's a good time. We're almost at halfway. We're about to hit the second threshold. Maybe some. Oh fuck! Oh no!
Yeah, wait a second.
Oh no! I have to brave on this hit. 53. Oh, I can't brave. Oh no!
Oh boy!
Oh, 50!
He's not dead. He's not
Yes!
dead.
No, if he would have went to 49, I would be dead.
Exactly.
Oh my god, that was
this
so.
Is gonna be very interesting.
Oh, that was terrifying.
No.
Oh, that was so scary. Oh, I'm still scared because splash damage will bring him down. Does Orange splash on anything but his counters? Oh, I'm dead. I'm actually dead. Yeah, I'm actually dead. Yeah, I'm dead because
on the bright side, we do have something. I think we have something for that we could do after the stream, or after the fight.
What is it? Because the fight's over. I'll be honest, the fight is over. When they attack, I will counter, and the counter will take him to 49. Fuck.
Am I reading right, guys? Is Faris FR's video been released?
Already?
I think that's what I was hearing. Indo and Blind Eye mentioned it. So if that is the case,
I'm seeing a lot of people say spam Orin AA. That's fine, but I have to do 10 here. I see what you're saying.
Like that's not gonna.
It's not enough. I have to do. It's not enough, but that is a good idea. I see at least 3 people saying that.
I'll get the link for you.
I could break C here with it and do a little bit more damage. Unfortunately, I just did way too much damage checking the orb on the main guy. This is a fun team, though. I'll do this again after stream and get it clear with it because it's a fun and interesting take on this fight. Obviously, any team that doesn't use Garnet is fun and interesting, but yeah, we're dead. Fucking dead, boys. GG's.
Well, we did our best. I'll pay the people.
Don't pay him. Don't pay him until.
Yeah, I can wait. I can wait for my channel points. I'm patient.
We ain't going anywhere.
You never know. Maybe they'll miss their 100% accuracy. Maybe they'll miss their 100% accuracy follow-up. Fluffy Almighty, thank you so much for the follow.
Does Storm have a single target attack that she could have used?
Her follow-up's AoE.
Yeah, but I was wondering if she could have maximized the single target damage for the initial attack.
51 and 55.
Oh, no.
That's how close we were. 51 and 55. That is how close we were.
You still have a character.
Are we gonna Sid Rain solo this? No, we're not gonna Sid Rain solo it. Pay the people.
Yeah, he actually can't tick the orb.
Yo, Orin is still alive. Orin is still up. Orin is dead, but he's still up. Hold on, guys. Hold on. If it lets me use Orin. Oh no, he's gone from the turn order.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah,
it's just a little bug. Well, so you're about to do the orb anyways.
I bet it's because in Final Fantasy X he was dead already, and that was the whole thing.
Wow, spoilers.
Look, he's still Fuck. Yo, he never died. Orin never died. You guys check real quick if Ferris's FR, because I would love to see her partner.
It is. I posted the video in our chat.
Yeah, it's in the chat. Right. You go relieve yourself, and then we'll watch it.
Yeah, we'll to end the stream this week. We'll check out Ferris's FR. Don't spoil the partner, because I'm kind of excited. I just beat FF5.
The thumbnail spoils the partner.
Oh fuck! All right.
Wait, let me see if I can hide the thumbnail.
Yeah. Well, people. I hope you appreciated that. That was Well, he did his best. Honestly, with this fight, I feel like it is pretty specific in what you need to bring to make it work. Like, not that it's like unbearable, but I felt the pinch personally.
Yeah, no, that was a really fun fight. I like this fight a lot.
I will say I enjoyed the fight because I liked being able to use Ace again. I just hadn't touched him in a while, so that was just kind of fun and nice.
I like
good.
being able
Well,
to use. I know this actually something I just complained about a week ago is that I green Null, but I haven't had any fights where I felt like I could like use him.
Oh yeah, so this felt right, huh?
But here it's like, oh yeah, like it's still challenging even with Null because of the way the mechanics work in this fight. I thought that was cool.
That's cool. Also, I have to acknowledge you can probably hear the echo. I think Raw left his headset right next to the microphone or something, so apologies for that. He'll be back soon, and we'll stop having this echo.
I'm assuming y'all can hear as much as we can because it's really annoying.
God, I'm so sorry. Yeah. What was there? On the one hand, I'm like, okay, what else is there to talk about while we wait for Raw to get back? I feel like, was that team doomed from the get-go, you think? I feel like it would have been pretty tricky to maintain.
It's a tough team, but it's very doable.
Okay.
Actually, I mean, I don't know. I
'cause-
think you would need someone else who could take the orb.
Yeah, that's the thing.
No, this team can definitely do it.
Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe
if this team
replacing
can do it.
Orin with Lilith might do the trick.
No, Porum was honestly there for nothing, but because when you think about it, her last stand doesn't
you need
help.
a,
Her
but you need a
her
staff.
aura. Oh, her staff. Fuck, yeah, that's right.
Yep, that's the thing.
Damn. I was thinking about how the team actually performed. Other than
I
her
think Vanilla would
auras,
be better
Porum did
there.
nothing. Yeah. Wait, does Vanilla? Oh,
Vanilla's established. She is
And
actually
she's-
really good.
yeah.
Her traps will do a lot of damage here.
And she's
Well, I was
C90.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm gonna do that.
I mean,
That's a fun team. Orin, Vanille,
you also-
Sid Reigns.
you also saw the team that Frog ran, right?
No, something crazy. Sync. Shout out Frog. Who was it, Bart?
I
was
want to
that-
say it was you first.
Oh, Sync, Vanille, and Orin.
Oh, so Sync instead of Sid Reigns. Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, no, that was a really cool team. So shout out Frog.
Yeah, shout out Frog. Good job. I don't see the link that I'm supposed to show.
But it's in the
check our mod chat.
It's like 2 messages up from me. It's a Twitter link.
Hey, shout out Zoe. You guys, we know you remember Zoe. She's doing great. Update on Zoe. Phenomenal. Everything's great. She's very happy. We love Zoe. Oh, Waka is...
Spoilers, pull up the dang video.
Okay, let's get this video running. I'm displeased. I'm displeased. I don't think that's...
I'm a little bit sad that Ferris's partner isn't. I guess what Lion would probably be a good one.
Layla or Lion.
Yeah, Layla or Lion would have been the natural
Well,
fit.
it's already somebody's partner. She's in Desh's FR.
Ah, dang, they got us there.
Okay, so we got the game capture turned off.
Yeah, he's going to show it, but Raw takes a moment.
I thought you were going to show it to us. Yeah, everybody relax, okay? This is very heavy, serious technological feats that I'm doing right here. So
Oh
just,
boy.
we'll get to it. It's just it's also in Japanese, so it's kind of hard for me. There it is.
Okay, this is a very good FR. I just watched it.
Did you?
Oh man.
All right,
This
so
is
here it
really
is.
good.
So we watch it first silently. It's only 1:43.
The FR is the very beginning.
Yeah, we'll dissect it after.
Okay, here we go. Ferris, FR.
本気でやるぜ
受けてみな
力を借りるぜ
受けてみなフィニッシュだ
こいつはいいや負けられないんだよ
Okay, okay.
俺を怒らせる
Wait, I missed it. I don't
You
understand.
missed it.
Yeah, I don't. And I watched it, but I don't understand what she did. Oh, I guess I should look at the overheads, or I guess I should look at the buffs and debuffs.
I mean, are we really going to know anything? They tuned up our numbers. It's in force time, so I have no idea what the caps are, what anything means, or anything matters. Agris looks like Agris also got C90, which is good.
Yeah.
I mean, this is coming. Yeah, Garnet's there, of course. But I mean, I thought that was a great little animation. That
Really
was
good
just
animation.
excellent combination of cannon fire and block of ZX. And then the jump kick at the end was actually really cool looking.
そ This is awesome.
So just so we're clear, the connection here between these two characters is just the fact that they both like the beach, right?
That was pretty cool. Yeah, they're beach people. You know, they like to swim. They like the sand. They're ocean dwelling people.
You know what? The animation is dope, so I can't complain. There better be some. I'd really like to see some. Ever since Gao and Gabr, I want to see more like cutscenes in the story, like in the intertwined wills, and like you know, like the post story. Whenever you beat a story chapter, there's like a single cutscene where they do like a little flavor thing. I'd love some more of that, like stuff to connect these FR partners, because right now the animation's awesome. I just want to see why, you know.
Yeah, Gao and Gabranth changed. You guys remember Gao and Gabranth?
Still
changed,
the gold standard.
They,
right?
they changed
Still the
my
gold standard.
completely changed my opinion on FR partnerships forever. That's the best one so far that I've seen. I do see Indolent Lard in chat said Agrius debuff is 2 turns now, so Faded Molly, Faded Molly in a turn denial team, you could keep Faded Molly up, you know, even twice as long. That's pretty cool. I'm glad Ferris is getting some stuff, man. Ferris,
yeah, she deserves it.
She's been so bad for so long.
When Ferris first came out, okay, with her EX, when the EX era, she was dispelling and throwing all these buffs on. She was really cool, really good AoE and stuff like that. Ever since that moment, she has been so bad. Her LD completely fucked her over. We all used her, or I used her because Transcendence. What tier was that? 4?
T2.
2. God,
yep,
she was so useful there. But apart from there, tier 2, she has been dead in the water since EX. So good for her. Hopefully, it's all very good.
I mean, her call's always been decent. I just really hope that they just do many things to make her better, because she needs so much more than just additional dumps and potency boosts, because everyone gets that. She needs something really to help with that. I will say that I'm appreciating the icon. I'm just looking at the screen. I do really like the improved icons. So I'm hoping that we get those sooner rather than later.
Yeah, those have been in JP for a while, so we should get those.
Yeah, I love them.
Kind of soon, right? They've been in
I
JP.
hope so. I mean, you know, basically they wait until it's like kind of comfy and then they do it.
Yeah.
Usually early.
Well, I lost. I died. Congratulations on your channel points. If you're a horrible person and voted against me.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to say, Raw.
Even though I did the brave and fearless thing and brought no BT team, no Garnet team, and it was my first try. So enjoy that. You know, you have no faith in me. So I hope you feel better.
You're right, I don't.
I hope you guys feel great about that.
I do. I really do, Raw. Thank you.
Bl'Art, let's go to you first for no reason. But Bl'Art, tell the people goodbye. You have any closing thoughts tonight?
Well, yeah, thank you very much for joining us tonight. As always, we do appreciate seeing you. I'm enjoying this Paris thing. And closing thought: enjoy the game for what it is, and if what it is isn't bringing you enjoyment, either make changes to to enjoy it, or re-examine what makes you enjoy it. And girl.
Well said.
Let's see. This Abyss was great. All the fights were fun. Really looking forward to Equinox. I think this will be the best event of them all, and I'm really hoping that we get to fight the T6 bosses. We got to fight all the other Transcendence bosses. We haven't seen the T6 guys yet. I hope we see them.
Oh Lord, here we come.
The flower dragons? The flower dragons?
Yeah, I want to see them again.
Why? Why would you put that
they-
that voodoo on us?
Because I enjoyed playing him the first time. Want to see him again?
I dream. I have nightmares of those guys. I hated that fight.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Honestly, fair.
All I can say.
Honestly, fair. I want to say that I've really had fun with the game. The last two events. We do a little show about this game. We've played for a long time. We're gonna play no matter what. Probably. We love the community and we love the characters, and so we're here for the long run. The last two events have really reminded me of how fun the game can be. If the fights are too easy, obviously it's tough to stay engaged. But I'm hopeful. My closing thought is that I'm hopeful. I think that even if it's rare, even if it's every month, every 2 months, I'm hopeful that we can get more fun events like that. And like some girl said, tomorrow, Equinox. Equinox is going to be awesome. There's not been a bad Equinox yet.
I'm so hyped for Equinox.
Exactly. So, hey, enjoy this. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? We could have 3, 4, 5 months of just really shitty stuff that's not very engaging and we're not having fun. So, a lot of people forget we're playing this game for fun. And the last two events have been awesome. Next one's going to also be awesome. So have fun, enjoy this game, and join us every Monday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Raw Life, Bl'Artagnan, some girl. Adios.
Adios.
Peace.
I did the thing. See you guys.